there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another car video. The type of women I've dealt with. You know what? I got some videos out there where, some women have taken offense to it. And it's usually videos where I might talk about, some of the things women might do, like infidelity. Well, especially infidelity. That's like the main one, right? Or some other stuff, right? Sorry for being distracted, but I got a fine neighbor over here. Yeah, too close to home, though. Anyway, right? I wanted to just mention who I dealt with because, see, one thing when you say anything critical about women, one of the biggest deflections other women will bring is either not me, or I don't know what women do that because me and my friends, we don't engage in that behavior. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, okay? I'm going to tell you something now. Type of women I've dealt with, because usually there's an implication I've only dealt with like trashy type of women, right? And I'm just like, no, not really, not as an adult. Now understand something, I've said publicly before, I've been around a lot of sex workers and stuff like that, as a child, but Child Protective Services got me out of that situation, right? And and always, usually if I run into those type of women now, or whenever I run into those types, I usually click with them because I don't judge them. It's like, whatever they do, I think is normal. But, what's normal? Anyway, right? So as a child, I was in that situation with a lot of them, and a lot of them took me under their wing, and, one of the reasons, when I say I've dealt with all types of women, I meant all types, because even while dealing with those, being in an environment with, not just sex workers, but just women in the neighborhood. Anybody who knew about Southeast DC, especially back in the 70s, they would tell you. I mean, there was even a very large mental hospital, St. Elizabeth's, that was in that area. And, a lot of people who kind of muster out of there, they end up in the neighborhood. So it's an interesting place, all right? But see, that's just as a child, because then once I was under my grandmother's custody, as she was technically my foster mother, it was a different type of environment. Grew up in a more middle class area, and of course, even while growing up, the family was big into church. So, these are the type of women that's forming the core of who I am, right? Who forming the core of how I see women. Not just the church women, but the women on, the sex worker types, the trashy ones, right? Now, it's interesting as you go to, graduate high school, go to college, then, it's a different quality of women. And then postgraduate education, even different type of woman. Now, here's the thing, and this is something a lot of detractors come from. See, a lot of detractors come from that place of the mask. Like, yeah, I'm a good woman. I never seen any of that. Okay, maybe not, but there's certain behaviors that go across. Now, understand, as an adult, especially in the circles I traveled in, and really started in high school, I didn't deal with that trashy type of women. The women I've dealt with were primarily solidly middle class to upper middle class. Even really in high school, I would party. I went to a Catholic high school. So a lot of the women I dealt with, if they didn't live in the neighborhood, they were Catholic school girls, which means their parents had at least some money, a little bit of money to pay for them to go to school, and then a lot of them were bougie. And indeed, in high school, if anybody's familiar with Jack and Jill, shoot, that's for upper middle class black kids, and I was partying with them. And I was on the outskirts of that community, but that's who I was partying with. So it was a different class of women coming up, right? And then college, and then post, graduate years, postgraduate, was still met a different type of women, like especially after college, the graduate years. Shit, I was going to exclusive parties where, as one detractor put it, these are black Barbie dolls I'm dealing with. These are upper class. These are, when we talk about those octanes, these are 92 and 100 octanes. Shoot. These were literally black Barbie dolls. These were upper class, and not just in terms of looks, but in terms of the professions. Because really, starting from the age of 22, 90% of the women that, I'll just count sexually intimate, not just who I knew, but sexually intimate, maybe 75% of the women I knew overall were college-educated professional women, particularly black women. I mean, I knew women of other races, but these were, look, the women were primarily the types that would have been in sororities, particularly AKA and Delta. Indeed, my ex-wife is an AKA. She still, she in her 40s, she still wear her jacket proudly. And then, dealt with Deltas. I got a story about some Deltas and stuff, but let's just say I got legally threatened not to share some things. So we will keep that one to ourselves. Anyway, right? But these are the type of women I'm dealing with, My point is not so much to say, hey, this is the caliber, but this is the point to say, hey, people will, especially some women will say, well, those must be the type of women you deal with. No. These are the type of women I encountered, the type of women I dealt with. Like I said, 90%, these are the ones other black women especially aspire to be like. These are, as some stats say, and let's not get into whether or not the stats are true, but this is a common belief, like the most educated group in America, right? And that's cool and whatnot, but these are who I was dealing with. I'm gonna tell you something I found. Yeah, there's differences as far as socioeconomics and everything, right? There's a differences as far as socioeconomics. Okay, I know this redneck motherfucker ain't gonna try to pull up on me. Shit. Well, I better not show that on the air. Let's just say I'm ready. Anyway, right? You might see some differences socioeconomically. You get one group of women might have a bunch of tattoos, some tacky weaves and stuff, and the other one's more classy looking. But on a sexual basis, please, fucking please, man. Shoot. I'm gonna put it like this. The thing I give about the more trashier women, the sex worker type of women, they show you who the fuck they were. You knew who they were. They didn't fake. The other women faked. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth, and they know who they are. There's a whole lot of women who pretty much let me know, who know I've done this. They pretty much let me know, do not call their names on the air. Like, I wasn't joking about being legally threatened. They were like, hey, you can do your thing. Don't let me hear my name on your videos. And I'll put it like this. If I got a group of some of the women I've dealt with as an adult, they could be easily just featured, like a feature story on each one of them in Ebony magazine or something like that. And when I say the legally threatened, let's just say I could drop some names. I'll leave it at that, right? So I'm dealing with a supposedly different class of women, but understand whether that woman is some ratchet with 14 kids in the ghetto, or she's some professional woman who got some $500,000 house or something and luxury cars. The behavior was all the same as far as sex. They did their thing. The only thing is the other group, like the trashier women, they be out in front with it. But the other ones, they did their stuff on the low. Man, there's many a time I've gone to private parties with some women you wouldn't think got down a certain way. But once they were, let's just say when the cameras are off, They were on some other stuff. And see, it's funny to me because, like I say, these professional women, these are women in the church. They're both. Shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So when women say, well, I don't know who you dealt with, one thing about women in general, and I've had women confirm this for me, and many men who are in that sexual underworld know this, a lot of women out here are wearing masks. And this ain't, and just to be clear, I want to be very clear, I use an example of black women, but this is white women, Asian women, Spanish women. In fact, out of all the groups, I would say sisters are the most straight up. But trust me, when you got some brothers or something thinking, oh, well, I'm gonna get a white woman, she ain't gonna do this and that. They wear more mask than anybody. More mask. Like that wedding ring don't mean a lot to a lot of white women. That's just something they happen to have on their finger. They seriously. So this is what I've dealt with. These are the type of women I've been around. So one of the things is a lot of women don't like it when a man can see through their mask and then publicly talk about it. It's like that thing with Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club, there is no Fight Club. Well, it's the same thing with how a lot of women are rolling out here. That's the same thing. That shit. I probably get some women who know me be watching the videos. They be like, they probably listening for something. Probably got an attorney ready or something. But that's who I've been around, And I'm going to be honest with you. Personally, I don't judge it. It is what it is. I understand women want to get their sex. They want to be free to be who they are. But, a lot of men can't deal with it. So they have to wear that mask. I understand that. The only issue I have really is when women act like this don't happen or it's not their friends. When I know for a fact, a lot of women doing some stuff that their best friend won't know. Like a lot of women think they know their friends, but they don't know that their friend, their best friend, has been sucking the dick of either their husband or their oldest son for years. Women need to be careful about any men around their any women around, men too, but any women around their sons. Auntie or something, play auntie or something. Shit. There's a lot of stuff that they own. There's some stuff women don't know their own mothers and stuff were getting down for years. So get off of that. Like, oh, not my friends. You don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. Because the stuff I know, because I've been in that underworld. A little bit more in it now than I would even like right now. So I know that's like, I don't need to pay attention to stuff. Seriously. It's like what women say publicly, I just ignore. And then if a woman says, well, not me, I immediately, just to let you know, anybody who wants to say, well, I don't do that, I immediately think you do if you tell me that. I immediately think, yeah, you too, if you tell me that. Because as they say, hit dogs holler. It's better that you just don't say anything. But, I wanted to share that. Because I'm going to tell you what, and this ain't really against the women, it's just overall honesty. A lot of the relationship problems wouldn't happen if more women were just straight up honest. And yeah, the reason I know women ain't going to be honest because they know some guys ain't going to try to marry them or support them with something or trick off of them for food. But at the same time, if women were honest, dudes would know that they'd be doing what I'm doing now, going to the gym. Dudes would know that it's easier to be honest with women and be straight up than to do some of the bullshit that a lot of men do to get some women. It'd be a tough thing to swallow at first, but at least the men know. And I guarantee this. If men know, if women are honest about their own nature with men, if women are honest about it, a man has nothing to do but adapt to it. He can complain, but you being straight up, you saying, look, this is what I want. And I can live with that. Shoot, trust me, I'd rather do something else than go to the gym. Shoot. Sit around, fart, not bathe or anything, but ain't too many women dealing with that, so shoot. And plus, it's good for my health anyway. And that's cool. So anyway, right, those are the women I've dealt with. All right. So anyway, that's it for today. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm going here and get my workout on because y'all know y'all like a big chest and a smile.